I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. It's Thursday. $710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range. This is the Jeff and Bill Show, where you get both sides. A whole lot to cover. Good morning to everybody out there.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
In the Colorado area, Denver, Colorado Springs. We've got a lot to cover. Tina Peters' outrage. Holy cow, did Jared Polis kick over the hornet's nest? Everyone from Adam Kinzinger to Phil Weiser to Michael Bennett, everybody jumping in on this one. We'll give you the latest coverage on the Tina Peters outrage. Debate in the U.S. Senate over the War Powers resolution and a vote taking place yesterday. The Navy torpedo that took out the Iranian ship left an oil slick, life rafts, dozens of bodies. What Sri Lankan Navy found after the U.S. sank the Iranian warship. We'll give you that. The battle over iced coffee in the Northeast as RFK Jr. takes on Dunkin' Donuts. That's kicked off a war in Massachusetts. And then we'll get into a very dangerous intersection in Cherry Hills that's actually a main intersection right by where I grew up.
That's crazy.
Took the life not only of a woman, but her husband, who was fighting to bring a traffic light there. I understand completely why there's a desire to have a traffic light there. It was wild trying to turn left out of Cherry Hills on Bellevue to head towards I-25.
Yeah, and people that are using that thoroughfare of Bellevue for years has been a sort of a side way to get in and out of the tech center to avoid some of the larger thoroughfares and to cross over and get down to University and beyond. And it's always been this, you ride the line of, do we think the Cherry Hills police are out today? Or do I gun it to get to the next light? And you watch that. And if you travel in that traffic flow, you see it. You see the surge of the traffic after a stoplight. It picks up and picks up and picks up, and you're trying to find that top speed before you get to the next light. Looking for anybody coming out of those streets that do not have a traffic signal, it's like good luck. Nobody that is driving on nobody that's driving on Bellevue is looking for anybody driving in and out of there. And God forbid you were trying to walk, run, or on a bike. That is Frogger. That is ridiculously dangerous at times. I can see the danger inside of it, but I can see the danger, not danger, but I can see why inside of the neighborhood they would be a little bit hesitant to put one there as well, because this is what I'm speaking of. Anyone who knows Rangeview High School in Aurora, where it sits near Bellevue and Iliff. My mom actually used to work there, and so I was real familiar with coming out there and knowing, and since then, it's gone from one stoplight that was at the green belt where you cross to another stoplight that's at the neighborhood not more than 15 feet further than the first light. And then right around the corner, about another 30 yards, is another stoplight, followed by yet a fourth stoplight that's about 20 yards further. So inside of about 55 yards, you can hit 4 stoplights. So I understand why people are worried about stopping the traffic flow and also making it more access in and out of the neighborhood, that then it becomes a thoroughfare for people knowing that you can get to that light and you can get access to Bellevue if you make the light trigger. Because I'm going down Iliff and I see people that are walking and driving and I'm like, oh, you're going to make the light turn. And they do. Yeah. So I get it. I get it on both sides. I've seen it. Yeah.
It's leading the Denver Post, so we'll talk about it today as well. Now is time for the news.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Good Thursday morning, 35 and mostly cloudy in Denver, 34 in the Springs. Expecting highs in the upper 60s today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning for a new home heating and cooling system. Contact your Lennox dealer, Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at pastorcamp.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Our top story, Senate Democrats have failed to pass a war powers resolution that would have halted President Trump from using further military action against Iran without congressional approval. Wednesday's 47 to 53 vote was related to the 1973 War Powers Act, meant to check the president's power to enter armed conflict without consent from the legislative branch. 2 more U.S. soldiers killed in the Iranian strike have been identified. The 2 were officers serving in the Army Reserve's 103rd Sustainment Command. They were killed when an Iranian strike hit a port in Kuwait. The operation in Iran continues, with the White House saying ground troops are not part of the plan at this time. Caroline Leavitt says the president will preside over the dignified transfer of the 6 American soldiers killed in the operation so far. She said the State Department is working hard to bring American civilians home from the Middle East. Iran's foreign minister says the U.S. will bitterly regret sinking one of their naval vessels off the coast of Sri Lanka.
The Iranian frigate was sailing in international waters of the Indian Ocean when it was torpedoed by an American submarine, the first such attack since World War II. Some 130 sailors were on board at the time. Sri Lanka rescued 32 people while 87 bodies were recovered. Iran's foreign minister says the ship had been visiting India. In a post on X on Wednesday, he called the sinking, quote, an atrocity at sea. I'm Rory O'Neill.
As we know, Governor Polis is considering clemency for incarcerated former Mesa County clerk Tina Peters, who's serving the 9 years for attempting to influence a public official and for tampering with election equipment. Peters' attorney hoping Polis commutes her sentence, while AG Phil Weiser chiming in and strongly opposing it. Denver is about to donate dozens of bison to several Native American tribes. Tomorrow's event at Genesee Park is part of Denver Park's ongoing effort to prevent the extinction of the bison.
Denver, what?
Yeah,
what concern do we have with regards to extinction of the bison when I can go buy a bison burger all over Colorado?
I was thinking the same thing. Absolutely. So Denver currently maintains bison herds at Genesee and Daniels Park. 34 yearlings will be given to the tribes during the ceremony, which is not open to the public. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I didn't know we were in that state right now, but evidently we are. I did not know that. CSU Pueblo is opening a new $31.8 million technology education and engineering building aimed at addressing teacher and engineering shortages in southern Colorado. University leaders cut the ribbon on Wednesday on the renovated facility, which includes engineering labs and space for future educators. All right, you've probably heard about this or seen this. McDonald CEO Chris Kegg, Billy told me about this, his stupid video taste testing the new burger, the Big Arch. He's about 160 pounds, it looks like, maybe. Doesn't look like he's ever eaten a burger. Calls it a product. He's sitting in a lame break room wearing his V-neck sweater, trying to look and sound likable, I guess. And here's part of it.
First of all, let's try to get this thing. I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also,
I don't know, maybe eat it?
some crispy onions
Open your mouth?
Never picked up a burger
on
before.
here.
No,
Never.
I don't
Never.
think so.
I have no idea how to pick it up.
Here he goes.
Here as well. You see those kind of coming out.
He kind of looks like Hickenlooper 30
Yes,
years ago, doesn't he?
he does.
Yes,
Right?
you're exactly right. He
Right?
does.
I'm looking at him like, who does he remind me of?
Yeah.
Okay, here he goes.
All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a
Oh my God. I mean, the bite he took was maybe like 2 centimeters.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a reason that ad guys hired Jessica Simpson to eat Carl's Jr.'s burgers.
Yes.
Nobody cares to watch this guy eat a burger.
Here's the problem. There are a couple of things. First, and Blake's right. When the guy bites the burger, he then has it so you can see it, and there's barely an indentation. It is hard to see where in the burger he actually picked his bite from. He got all bun. He got nothing else. And there are a couple of problems. One, whoever sat there and said it was a good idea to put the CEO on camera and then saw the video and approved it should be fired today.
No, are
Yes.
you kidding me? This is brilliant.
Should be fired today.
Everybody's talking about it. You give the guy a raise.
He's like he looks like a guy that lives on kale. I mean, to begin with. So there's nothing about him that says burger. And then when he starts it off and says the product.
Yes,
That is the
product.
worst thing in the world. Talk to me about the burger. And then he doesn't know how to pick it up. And what I mean by he doesn't know how to pick it up, for people that haven't seen the video before, when you're reaching down and you have gone to whatever your favorite burger place is, you're pulling them off the grill and you reach down, do your thumbs point down towards the plate or up towards the ceiling? He starts with his thumbs pointing to the ceiling. You cannot put it in your mouth with any sort of reasonability at that grip. So the fact that he started with thumbs up says he doesn't know what he's doing. And then he appears surprised about what's on the burger his company made.
Yes.
He was in the meetings. He's probably got some sort of a
He
flow
was
chart.
not in the meetings.
Or
But
was
you
he?
guys want to know how
Should've
much he
been.
makes annually? Here's what gets me. I'm
I
sitting
don't
there.
even want to know
Not
because
really.
whatever it is, he
sitting
doesn't have to eat McDonald's.
I'm sitting there watching this guy going, what? This guy makes $19.2 million a
that's
year
ridiculous.
annually.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. And he approved that video. He's an idiot. That's just stupid.
19 million to not eat the product that he pushes.
He refers it as a product. He doesn't know. No one handed him a flow chart. Even if he wasn't in the meeting, no one handed him a flow chart beforehand to talk about, hey, here's the cool stuff
I
on the
think he's
burger.
kind of endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dorky and kind of goofy. And he reminds me of,
Yeah.
The impression that I got coming off that video is he's a guy that is you, and I appreciate the accurate number, pulls 19 million and says, there's stuff that I serve at the restaurant are for the poors. Let them eat it. I don't have to. I can have my food prepared by a personal chef, and he can go shopping for fresh things every day. I don't need to eat this processed burger. It's beneath me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And
So-
at the same time, when I look at it, he's sitting in this break room, the worst place to shoot this thing. And then his personality, the fact that he didn't take a bite, maybe we are just getting played. This day and age of promotion and social media, I mean, I get maybe it was by design, just so you have more people.
I don't think you could design it to be that bad. I don't think he's that good of an actor to be that bad.
Remember when Krusty the Clown
that's a good
took
point.
a bite out of his own burger
Oh
and
yeah,
spits it out?
spits it out. It's horrible.
Yes.
I actually saw a TV station again. Shout out to McDonald's for figuring out how to do this, because I saw an entire, and this is like 2.5 minutes of a TV station doing a story about the new burger. They went in, talked to the franchisee, talked about how it was built. It was a 2.5 minute commercial. And the anchors sat down and, of course, tried the burger. They knew what they were doing. Lettuce is falling out on the side, stuff's there, they're licking their fingers, big bites. They did exactly what they were doing. They didn't do this. The McDonald's CEO was more worried about stuff dropping on his shirt than worried about actually tasting the burger. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm cracking up because it took him like 7 minutes to eat
It's ridiculous.
whatever he ate, which was nothing.
Nothing.
Just kept on, chewing. I'm like, what do you have?
then-
What do you have in your mouth?
And then he guess it's unfamiliar to him because it's not lettuce. And the other part is he goes, and I'm going to eat this for my lunch later. No, you're not. You don't even know how to pick up the burger. You're not eating that for lunch later. There's no way. He's surprised at how it looks when he opens the box. Have you never seen it before? You're the CEO. There was no product test.
Now,
Did
did you guys see the Burger King guy going?
That was good. That was a
takes
good
a
counterpoint.
bite,
Oh yeah.
dude.
It was a great counterpoint to what the McDonald's CEO did, and I like that they've got him like in the kitchen area. They've got him in the and again a marketing apron that's on him. Much better execution by Burger King. Burger King did it well. Yeah, they did the execution proper on that one.
All right, I'll try to play that later.
Yeah, the McDonald's guy's just so bad. I'm like, the product.
I'm glad you brought it up. I couldn't believe it. It was worse than the way you described it, Billy.
It is worse. Yeah.
Am I really
so bad.
watching this?
I know. Let's say he's never had a burger in his life, and he's surprised about what his own product contains.
Yes, absolutely.
He didn't read the memo. No one gave him a flow charts. No one walked him through it beforehand. No. Okay, fine. He has no. It gave the impression he has no idea what his company's
Would you feel better if the CEO of the company was like 350?
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
Diabetes medicine and stuff like that?
Probably not.
I would feel better if he would have started out and said, hey, we got this thing, this big arch. Again, and the idea that he goes, and we've tested it in Germany and Canada and this. And you're like, and now you think it's fit for human consumption? I don't understand. What's the list there? I just, what now? It's like, don't worry, we've tested on the Canadians. This is okay. So what are you doing? I would have liked to hear, this has been tested. The response has been great. We're excited to share this with America. This is how it's constructed. We did it this way. You get 2 quarter-pound beef patties. This is the quarter-pounder, but it's doubled up. We're dropping 3 pieces of white American cheese on here, not the orange ones, the white ones. We did that because of this taste. We have done a very special Big Arch sauce that we spent this time, the chemistry. It's a cousin of the Big Mac sauce, but it's going to be a different taste. This is something that is a graduation. This is this is the fulfillment of what the Big Mac, all the other marketing crap. That's what it should have been. He should have been selling us the stinking burger, not looking like it's the first time he's ever seen something his company made.
Yep. Jason in Denver texted in, it's almost as bad as when the mayor in New York ate his pizza with a knife and fork.
That was bad. Doubt. Or when Elon walked out on stage and these windows won't. Psh, crap. Maybe you test that before you walk out on stage. I'm just saying, there's some things you got to workshop before you do this live.
Billy, you missed your calling, honestly. You should have been the CEO.
Yeah,
Blake,
I should have just written the script.
On that point, I'm thinking of taking Billy back to McDonald's.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been thinking about that. I actually did.
Absolutely.
I was running around. I had, as you know, I was, parent Uber. I was parent Uber the other day with one of the kids. And I love how they just, and you know how teenagers are. They're kind of like, I'm kind of hungry. Okay. Do you think we could go to McDonald's?
They don't ask.
Yeah, I know. There's always a preface. There's always a lead into this. Yeah. You're like, well, yeah. I'm like, darn it. Okay, fine. We're going to McDonald's. And I thought about it. I looked at that thing and I'm like, no. And it was because of the video. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I can't do it today. So yeah, I actually went the quarter pounder. Yeah. So,
did you?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's because it's the fresh beef. That's the reason. Yeah. That's the reason I pick it more than the other ones. Although that Big Mac sauce, ooh, that's good.
I'm not a big fan, but you like that, huh?
I like the Big Mac sauce. Yeah. It's the rest of the burgers. Okay, the sauce itself, yeah.
Right.
The sauce I like. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, if only Billy were the CEO.
I just they just need me to write the script.
19.2 smackaroos.
I'm definitely not worth being paid that much for anything. There's not a single thing I can think of I can do for that.
Wouldn't you feel guilty making that much money?
Oh, hell yeah. Especially if I refer to the burger as a product.
Yeah, absolutely.
I filmed that video. I'm robbing these shareholders blind. I am stealing money from them.
It's horrible. The great Lou Holtz has passed away at the age of 89. Legendary. Oh, my goodness. He was awesome. Yeah, there were so many great stories about Lou Holtz. CSU over New Mexico last night, 82-74. They've won 8 in a row. Mountain West Conference tournament ahead. Lakers at the Nuggets tonight, and the Avs at the Stars in North Texas tomorrow in Dallas. 34 in the Springs, 35 in Denver. That's the latest. I'm Blake Olson. More of the Jeff and Billy Show ahead on News Talk 710 KNUS in Denver, and now on AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you hear both sides. We are the Jeff and Bill Show.
It was great that some areas of Colorado picked up some precipitation yesterday, especially Colorado Springs to Pueblo. Pueblo reaching a record amount of rainfall for the date yesterday of over 3/4 of an inch of precipitation. As we work our way through today and tomorrow, though, we're looking at sunny to partly sunny skies. Temperatures are going to rebound back to some nice spring-like weather for the Front Range with 60s today and tomorrow. However, we have another storm system coming in. This one's stronger, colder, and tracking further south. We're going to see rain and snow showers developing Thursday night, and Front Range snow is going to be a possibility Friday through Friday evening. Along with temperatures, that'll be much colder. Could have some travel hazards Thursday night through Friday evening along some Front Range and mountain areas out of the storm system. It'll bring needed moisture, but hazardous winter driving conditions as well. Then clearing skies will return with rebounding temperatures for the weekend. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
$710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show, where you get both sides. I agree with 8422. By the way, give us your nickname, 8422, so we could throw it in here. Just think this through, guys. The whole nation advertising for this burger now because of that commercial, which wasn't even really a commercial. It was just a little social media post of the dorky McDonald CEO. But to their point, with advertising, what's the point of advertising? Awareness. And you did it all on a budget of nothing, almost nothing. And it's not super controversial in the sense that McDonald's is having to run out there and put out press releases. We apologize. It's just people lambasting and critiquing the dorkiness of the CEO trying to eat a burger. So I don't know. I think it tends to work. What do you think, Bill?
I'm skeptical because does it make me want to go and try it? And I'm not convinced on what he said there is going to make me go, oh, that seems interesting. That seems like, and there wasn't anything for me about the burger that made it necessarily a huge differentiator. And I don't trust his bite telling me it's delicious. So I find it less persuasive. It would be one that I would be aware of it. And so, yes, is it raising awareness? Yeah, absolutely. Is it driving purchase? Probably not, at least not in my world. But I'm quite cynical about these things, and I'm always a little bit cynical based on advertising. And so, I'm a harder
would you
sell.
like to see Bill Thorpe do his version of the McDonald's CEO video? Text us in. I'll see if I can talk him into it.
I've got a busy day today. We'll have to see.
All right. We've got more to come, including the response of Colorado Democrats to Jared Polis floating the idea that he might commute the sentence of Tina Peters. We'll give you that coming up. Let's talk Dan Caplis with Dan Caplis Law. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you should choose a law firm that is taken seriously. Dan Caplis Law is taken seriously. Dan Caplis Law is a real trial firm and proves the truth when the insurance carrier does not pay all that it should in an out-of-court settlement. Dan Caplis is the only lawyer in Colorado history to win 11 straight 7-figure jury verdicts, including a record $205 million jury verdict in a wrongful death case and the largest truck crash jury verdict in Colorado history. Dan Caplis Law is a serious firm for serious cases. They accept righteous injury and death cases on a percentage fee basis. There are no upfront fees, no charge for an initial consultation. Dan Caplis Law has offices in Denver, Greeley, Loveland, and Fort Collins. If you want your case to be taken seriously, call Dan at 303-770-5551 or hit dancaplisLaw.com. That's Dan, CAPLIS Law.com. More The Jeff and Bill Show to come, 710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you hear both sides. We are The Jeff and Bill Show.
.710 KNUS in Denver.
and on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show where you get both sides. Now, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Jared Polis tweeting and then probably shutting off his phone and going to bed. And then the whole world freaking out when he points out the sentencing disparity between State Senator Sonia Jaquez Lewis and Tina Peters. And the state senator was convicted on seeking to influence a public official, which is a similar charge and conviction that Tina Peters had. Now, Senator Sonia Jaquez Lewis got probation, and she was convicted of 4 felonies. Tina Peters, convicted of 3 felonies and a few other misdemeanors, gets 9 years. 9 years. So Jared Polis is looking at the sentencing disparity, and he says, we need to make sure that the rule of law is applied evenly. He writes, justice in Colorado and America needs to be applied evenly. You never know when you might need to depend on the rule of law. Now, just a reminder, people seem to have forgotten this, but at one point, Jared Polis got in quite a spat with his assistant, allegedly shoving her into a file cabinet and bruising her. So, yeah, you never know when the rule of law might be applied to you. He seemed to have kind of escaped that. But pointing this out, and boy, I mean, it went wild yesterday. Even Adam Kinzinger jumping in and tweeting his disappointment on this. Now, he incorrectly stated on Blue Sky that Polis had already pardoned Peters, but Polis's post by Wednesday afternoon had attracted some 1.6 million views and thousands of comments, many of them critical of the governor, other defending Peters. And Phil Weiser had a message. Bill, let's play Phil Weiser's, the Attorney General of Colorado, now candidate for governor's message.
The sentence for former County Clerk Tina Peters, a convicted felon, should not be commuted. She broke the law. She undermined the integrity of the elections, and she is shameless about it. She would do it again. Donald Trump's pressure campaign cannot be allowed to succeed. In Colorado, we need to stand strong, defending our elections, defending the rule of law. I'll always fight for the rule of law.
Kind of funny to hear Phil Weiser say, I'm always going to fight for the rule of law. Just a reminder, you got to steal 3 cars before you get his attention.
Yeah. Again, let's go back to the McDonald's thing. Who's writing the script? Who's the script writer? Because to make the point, you need to talk about why it's important to keep Tina behind bars. And I understand the comparison between the felonies, but the charges of trying to influence a public official, there are different ones, and there are other ones that Tina was convicted of versus Senator Jaquez Lewis. I think that the important part is, while they are both incorrect, and yes, the sentencing is vastly different, and I don't agree with it in either situation. I don't agree in the probation. I think the 9 years is too long. But for Phil not to outline, remember, Tina was convicted of doing A, B, C, D. It's easy. He doesn't say anything about it. It's just all about rule of law. The arguments are...
And Donald Trump, have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They're throwing this on the Donald Trump pressure campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
As if Jared Polis is being influenced in pressure by Donald Trump.
Yeah, no. The idea is you say, she did X, Y, Z. And there are processes and procedures for this to happen. And that's where you then throw in the Donald Trump pressure campaign. You say, then that's why we're not going to bow to the Donald Trump pressure campaign. The process that here in Colorado will go, Tina has the ability to file for this and that, and she should stay in jail until then. That's, the idea that Phil doesn't outline what she did is a misstep, in my opinion, there, because it's reminding people of what the crime is. And I think that's important when you're making the case that the person should stay in jail. reminding people what they did is always going to be important. I go back to a recent conversation we had as recent as yesterday with the guy that's running for Senate District 11, and he seemed to run over the top of exactly what Tina did and focused on the politics contained in an us versus them, and that's exactly what I hear Phil Weiser doing. He's running right over the top of what actually happened, and he's diving into the deep pool of politics. Now, he wants to be governor, so of course, it's a misstep. Whoever gave him that script, whoever wrote it, I believe you made a misstep there because it sounds like fluff. It sounds like there's no bones behind anything you're saying. And just as my buddy Jeff pointed out, when you sit there, I'm for the rule of law, and you can steal 3 cars. I'm for the rule of law, except for when we want to have ICE coordinate with local law enforcement, whether or not we agree or disagree with that. So that's the issue here, is these platitudes and political statements don't do what you think they do, want to be governor. That's the problem. You want to be about the rule of law, outline what happened. It's one of the things that friend of the show, George Brockler, excels at. When he stands in front of the microphone and the cameras, he says, these people did this. We are not going to let this happen in my district. If you come in my district and you do this and this and this, you're going to jail. He outlines it. He walks up and says, this person is being charged because of the serious nature of these crimes, and here they are. It's what he does. That's how you do it. I know, Phil, that you did beat George, unfortunately, in that race for Attorney General. It doesn't mean that your communications team is smarter or better at it. He's better. Take a lesson from George Brockler. Understand how to do this. That's political fluff. You wasted my time. You wasted Jeff's time. You wasted everybody's time that had to listen to that. You shouldn't have even posted it.
I think that's a good analysis, Bill. And I'm looking at Michael Bennett's response. Here's Michael Bennett's response. He posted it on X.
Oh,
Tina Peters knowingly broke the law, undermined our elections, and was rightfully convicted by a jury of her peers. At a moment like this, we can't capitulate to a lawless administration. We have to stand strong for our institutions, our democracy, and the rule of law. So there's a few things here. Watching a bunch of Democrats who have allowed Colorado to fall into some of the worst crime rates it's ever had in its history, run around and all of a sudden get very serious about the rule of law. What they end up doing is stepping into the critique conservatives have, which is you only really care about the rule of law when you're prosecuting your political opponents. Then you get really serious. I mean, look at the response to a non-violent grandma's commutation. You want to talk about commuting sentences? The commutation of Nathan Dunlap didn't generate this much controversy, okay? And the dude killed people in the Chuck E. Cheese shooting. So the just knee-jerk response you're seeing from Democrats that this is a terrible travesty is revealing from my perspective. But then, Bill, this is where I think Jared Polis is setting himself apart from everybody else. And I actually think he's smarter than Phil Weiser and Michael Bennett. I think Phil Weiser and Michael Bennett are playing the election year game right now where they can't appear weak to their base. What happens if Tina Peters dies in prison?
Oh, interesting.
If that happens, okay, that becomes an albatross around the neck of whoever is in charge at that point. If Jared Polis ever wants to have the future that he wants, or any of these other guys, right? And I think you would probably see them change their tune if they ever got into office, okay? That the Gold Star mom, 70-year-old, non-violent criminal you kept in prison and she died while you're allowing child rapists out on probation, that is a campaign ad against you. It becomes an albatross around your neck. And I think Jared Polis rightfully is considering that could be a possibility. And he's looking for a way out.
Yeah, I can see that. I want to go back to the Bennett thing just for a sec, because Bennett starts going in the right direction and then loses himself based on the political winds, in my mind. And I think that it is somewhat of a detriment to focus, as you said, focus on we must uphold the rule of law. And because I believe you are correct that most people interpret that as political speech and do exactly what you did, come to the conclusion that, well, you're only talking about that based on your opponents, that we will hold our opponents responsible for, but our friends and family, we'll cut them loose. That's where Bennett missed the boat. Bennett could have said, in the Republican majority district of Mesa County, she was charged by the Republican DA who was elected by the voters and convicted by a jury of her peers who originally voted to put her into office. That's it. You have to outline this. This is not, we're upholding rule of law, and this is not Jared Polis, the Democrats, coming in and saying, we got to get me a Tina. No, this is the county charging their clerk and recorder for malfeasance and convicting her with a jury that she helped pick of voters that chose her in the first place. That's important. And the fact that they both, Bennett and Weiser, run over the top of that and just leave it to the side and instead go to the politically loaded language is dumb and allows everybody else to continue this narrative of a political persecution. Now, dealing with the idea of Tina passing away in prison, that would be absolutely awful, and it would depend on, I think, circumstances. If she's violently attacked, etc., then I think it's absolutely a tragedy. If it's something where, as many people do, passes in their sleep at night, the idea of a sudden heart attack, etc., that's horribly tragic, but that for me is on the other end of the spectrum.
It won't matter. It won't matter.
Really?
The fact, I mean, think about this, guys.
Yeah,
think about this.
Yeah.
Nathan Dunlap kills 4 people. You end up with the guy that drives down the truck, I-70, crashes in, kills 4 people there. Both these guys get their sentences commuted, and you don't get the knee-jerk response coming from Democrats. Like, Tina Peters has spent, I think, already 500-plus days in jail at this point, okay? How much pound of flesh do you need? Because you weren't raising hell when Dunlap got commuted. You weren't raising hell when the guy that crashed his truck in to a whole bunch of people on I-70 killed a bunch. You weren't raising hell then. But somehow the 70-year-old grandma, the nonviolent first-time offender, no, she's got to serve her. This is the rule of law.
But isn't the...
how much pound of flesh do you need to be satisfied?
But Dunlap's commutation still ensures that he dies in prison.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's still...
But I wanted to see him fry. He deserves to fry.
I understand that, but the end result still being death, I'm not certain that would be... I'm not disagreeing with your premise on it being a big controversy. I'm just not certain that Dunlap is necessarily the best argument in this case. I'm not sure that given the fact that he's going to pass in prison...
That commutation,
I'm not
far
sure.
more egregious than anything in my mind that you would do to Tina Peters. But again, how much justice is enough, Michael Bennett, Phil Weiser? Do you need it all? 9 years. Do the hard time, Tina Peters. Is that enough? If he commutes her 1 day, is that going to be a violation of the rule of law, Phil Weiser? I don't know. To me, these guys continue to prove that they'll be weak on actual criminals out there, allowing them to run around, rape children, and get probation. But if you're a political opponent, I will make sure you see the inside of that jail for the entirety of your sentence, and it's right out of the playbook of communist leadership. All right. Feel free to join the conversation. Jump in here, 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line at 720-819-5115. Let's talk advanced hair restoration. Guys, if you're losing your hair and desire to have it back, then Advanced Hair Restoration has the easiest guaranteed solution. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results. I've seen it with my own eyes. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Paul's modern technology. And best of all, you get your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it will grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 720-459-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver and has changed the lives of tens of thousands of people. So don't wait. Check out the before and afters online for yourself. 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com. That's 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com. More of the Jeff and Bill Show to come. You're listening to us on 710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you hear both sides. We are the Jeff and Bill Show.
710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show where you get both sides. It's that time of the morning. We hand it over to Bill Thorpe for You Choose the News.
Yes, it's that time of the morning where we get to make some really questionable decisions. It is time for everybody's favorite fake radio news game show. It's You Choose the News. Yeah, I've spent just moments this morning finding really dumb stories about us humans, putting really more ridiculous headlines on top of them so that we can play this fake radio news game show, because those in charge do not arise until 7 o'clock. That means Jeff and I are left unsupervised, so you are the beneficiary, I guess the damage is all yours as well, too. So, however you take this one, this is You Choose the News. Now, Blake Olson joining us from the news department. Jeff is in the studio. Gentlemen, here are today's headline choices. Headline number 1, power nap. Headline number 2, addicted to work. Headline number 3, it's a classic love song. And headline number 4, new drug protocol. Mr. Hunt, your choice.
Start with new drug protocol.
Yes, a brand new drug protocol. Don't tell RFK Jr. about this one, but Billy Idol says he smoked crack in order to kick his heroin addiction. Remember that one, kids?
Oh, boy.
On Club Random with Bill Maher, he admitted that smoking crack allowed him to stop using the heroin. He said, once you're trying to get off heroin, what do? He goes, I had to go to something else. I started smoking crack to get off heroin.
Jeez.
Which seems like a very questionable choice.
And what do you do to get off the crack?
I have no idea. I've seen Billy Idol. I'm not sure he is off the crack. Oh, I'm kidding. I don't know. Billy Idol Should Be Dead is the brand new documentary about the 70-year-old rock legend. He's been talking about his career. He said he took a lot of risks in his life. He battled addiction while also speeding through the streets on a motorcycle, driving too fast. That really hurt his career at one point as well. Here's something that was really interesting. He said that when he got into the rock and roll lifestyle, he embraced the drug culture and took his first hit of acid when he was only 12 years old. He said he was at a point in his life where he was really addicted to drugs, and he acknowledges how lucky he is to be alive. And this is the part I found interesting. He said, quote, imagine if I was alive and doing this today. If I was coming up and doing now what I was doing back then, I'm certain I would be dead. I would have run into fentanyl. That, I think, is the message.
There's a powerful documentary, Fentanyl and the Stars, on Hulu, A&E right now. I mean, you lost Prince, Coolio, a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah, and so I thought that was interesting. At first, you're like, wait, he did crack to get off heroin? And then he said, if I was running the way I ran when I was a kid today, I'd be dead. You're like, oh, there we go.
One pill can kill, a reminder.
At least a little bit of a self-awareness and a little bit of a reminder there from Billy Idol. All right, now, Blake Olson, power nap, addicted to work, or classic love song?
I love power naps.
Power nap. We find ourselves in Philadelphia. Now, this is for you, the sports guy, Blake. All right. San Antonio forward Harrison Barnes has just recently missed his first game since 2021. Barnes' streak of 364 straight games played in the NBA ended on Tuesday night against the Philadelphia 76ers. He missed the very first game he was available for since December 4th of 2021 when he played with Sacramento. Now, what caused Harrison Barnes to miss this game, this Iron Man? Power nap. Yes. He woke up from a pregame nap with a sore left ankle. He went and talked to the coach, and they kind of worked him out a little bit beforehand, and they said, you can just take it off tonight. And he's like, but. Now, New York's Mikal Bridges is the longest active consecutive game streak at 616. Barnes also trails Bridges for most total games played of 2021 with 382. Since then.
God bless those guys.
Yeah, but
in the world of load management.
Exactly. Yeah, and here's the other part: is how many of us, as we're getting older, you could sleep in the back of a car, you could sleep upside down on a couch, and now you go to your bed, you lay down, you wake up, and you're like, my shoulder hurts. How many of us have woken? Yes. How many of us have woken up the next morning and gone, did I fight a bear in my sleep? Well, how come my neck hurts and my back is sore? This is ridiculous. It's okay. There's a point. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's okay. Now, here's for the younger kids, and it may actually include Jeff in this one. That this is one of the fun things that happens once you get older, is you can lay in bed for so long, and then bed starts to hurt. That's some crap. That I'm
is.
sitting here relaxing, and if I relax too long, my back starts to hurt or something else. What kind of stupid thing is
Not
that?
fair.
No, it's not fair at all.
What else are you supposed to do?
Yes, exactly. I mean, there's those points when you want to get that long morning sleep. You don't have to get up for work at like 3 a.m, and you lay there and you're like, oh, my back says no. Got to get up. Too bad. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it is. Okay, final choice this morning, Mr. Hunt. Addicted to Work or classic love song?
Classic love song.
Yeah, we're just going to play an old-fashioned classic love song on this one. The science hippies have found out that, maybe when you get older, you can attract more of the pretty ladies. Well, at least if you're a whale, that is. They have found that older male whales are more successful at mating than the younger rivals because they're better at singing. Yeah, karaoke this thing. Okay, now the findings suggest that humpbacks may need time to learn and refine their singing techniques to be competitive in the world of love. Researchers believe that as the whale population recovers after centuries of being hunted, the females are now becoming more selective. Yeah, they're not looking at the guy that maybe knows that Guns N' Roses song. They're looking for the guy that can hit all the high notes. And so the whaling has driven many species to the brink of extinction, and the study is saying that after 2 decades of them coming back, the shift is obvious. The ladies like the older men who can carry a tune. Yeah, singing whales. Get more love.
Makes sense.
Yeah, however, I go to karaoke, everybody yells at me. I know. All righty, that's the end of your Choose the News. Back
Great
to you,
job,
Jeff.
Mr. Thorpe. Coming up in the next hour, we'll cover the War Powers Resolution debate that took place in the U.S. Senate. How did your senators in Colorado vote on that? Plus, the Navy torpedo. What did the Sri Lanka Navy discover when they went to that Iranian ship that you saw blow up? We'll give you all this and more. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show, News Talk 710, KNUS in Denver.
And waking up with The Answer in Colorado Springs. That's FM 1460, and that's AM 1460, FM 101.1. We'll be right back. This is